Welcome into the UCCU ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University for the 6A Baseball State Championship. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Dusty Litzer and Dane Stewart here to bring you what should be a fantastic championship game in 6A, Dusty, between the Bingham Miners, a perennial baseball power in this state, and the Riverton Silverwolves seeking their first baseball state championship.
Yeah, this is outstanding, and there's so many ties. As a matter of fact, if we were playing this game 20 years ago, there'd only be one team out there. Riverton and Bingham were that close. Riverton broke off from the Bingham boundaries, and Coach Jay Applegate, the head coach of the Riverton Silverwolves, sharing some interesting notes with us about how he is a Bingham Miner. He grew up, he played Bingham. Coach Brad Bevan was his head coach, and then Joey Sato was an assistant back then. So, you're talking way back. Sato's been the head coach for 30 years. Yeah. But he has great ties there. Most of his coaching staff played at Bingham as well, and this should be a great game. Coach Joey Sato told us that both these teams are built, obviously going to play similarly, and this should be a very, very fun game. It was they did play earlier this year. It was an 11-0 win for Bingham back in March. These are two different squads since early March.
Very different squads. And as we talk about the Bingham Miners on the hill today, Ethan Falks will be the starting pitcher. Dusty, he's going to have to be really, really good because the top five of this Riverton lineup, boy, they are as good of hitters as they come. Zach Peterson will lead things off for Riverton. Morris and Sanchez also due up here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, Zach Peterson batting .348 on the season through 33 games.
Underway here from UCCU ballpark. That pitch high, and it's ball one to Peterson.
Peterson went 1 for 4 with a run scored on Wednesday night against American Fork.
Better pitch there from Falks, in for a called strike.
Early jitters. You see how you work out that just work out that energy.
Neither of these two teams were here, but so important to have a good first inning, Dusty. We just saw a 5A state championship that got away from Olympus at the bottom of the first. Important to get a good start here in this one.
At bottom of the first, 2 outs.
1-2 the count here on Peterson. Is that ball outside, even up here 2-2.
Interesting, talking to Coach Applegate, asked him about nerves. He goes, there's no nerves. He's like, we're good. All the pressure's on them. They got to beat us. And they're just trying, and the Riverton's here trying to take 2.
Swung through, and first man down is Falks able to get Peterson swinging.
Great job by Falks, and comes right at him. You get, like I said, the early energy that comes with playing in the championship games. Certainly, you get the pill to start it. You're up on the rubber trying to figure out how you handle these emotions and make everything work. And that's a very good first at bat.
Good velocity from Falks here early on as Gage Morris up at the plate, and Gage able to hit one just over the shortstop's head, and Morris is on first here with 1 away.
Great response. Great response from Morris. Come right up, got something he knew he could handle, and flip it over the shortstop.
We talked about the top of this lineup, Dusty, and Gage Morris, a fantastic hitter. Dylan Sanchez coming up to the plate with Ryan Edwards on deck. I mean, these are really the guys that can do the damage offensively for Riverton.
Absolutely, and Dylan Sanchez batting .455 with 33 RBIs on the year. Very good stick.
Sanchez called strike, that on the outer portion. Riverton fans didn't like that.
Yeah, I'm saying he's not going to like it, but the one thing about these guys at the top of this order, when you look at Riverton, they will hit the ball where it's pitched. You want to pitch them away, they're going to flip that thing into right field. Not easy places to go beat these guys.
This one chopped foul, and the count now 0-2 on Dylan Sanchez.
They'll shorten up this approach, and of course, someone like Dylan, he's going to take it where it is, but with the runner on first base, you find that hole between first and second baseman. You're moving a guy from first to third.
That pitch outside, going to try to get Morris back at first, but able to get in safely. Good composed throw there by the catch Snar from Bingham.
Absolutely.
I played catcher, Dusty, and sometimes you come up and that ball sails on you a little bit, or the exchange isn't clean. We saw that in the earlier game as well. 1-2 pitch here to Dylan Sanchez.
Falk's not liking what's coming through. Yeah, they weren't on the same page there. Wonder if he's wanting to throw a breaking ball.
This pitch chopped and beat him. Boy, that was close. Dylan Sanchez almost able to run it out, but Falk's able to get it over to first for the second out.
By the hair of his chin did he get him on that one. Any type of bobble and reset, Sanchez is safe, and we'd have runners on first and second.
Yeah, that one was really close, and Sanchez showing off his speed there on his first at bat, even though he goes down. 2 outs here. Ryan Edwards at the plate.
Ryan had such a great semifinal game on the mound with a complete game against American Fork.
Ryan takes one right in the back, so it is men on first and second, though 2 away, as Cody Nelson, Dusty, coming up. And Cody also a guy that you've got to be real careful when you're pitching to old number 11.
Absolutely. I mean, Ryan Edwards bats .407, and Cody Nelson batting .369 on the year. He's got 17 RBIs. So an opportunity to do something here. Cody on Wednesday night, I believe he had a triple. And he did. He had a 2 RBI triple in the first inning against American Fork.
Deja vu here potentially, huh? Although it's a little lighter outside. That'll throw off the senses a bit.
The wind barely moving. The flag is. Old Glory. He's not whipping around right now.
A pitch low. Ball 1 in on Nelson.
In fact, we didn't mention that in the first game. We had 2 home runs hit in that game, and both, well, the second one, I didn't think it was going to get out of the yard, and it went out by a pretty good distance.
Yeah.
It was one of the, so the ball carrying very, very well here at the ECCU ballpark.
That one in on the hands. Nelson fouls it away.
You know, Falks, it's just about taking care of the guy at the plate. I say that a lot, but it's anytime you get 2 outs. And I like the idea here from Bingham. Everybody playing back, corners are even back. Keep everything in front of you.
Boy, nice job there holding by Snar, and the home plate umpire make that call.
Yeah, sometimes you get bit for framing like that, and you have the benefit of the call on that one.
1-2 the count. Bingham trying to get out of the top of the first here with no damage done. Get him swinging. Falk strikes out the side. We head to the bottom of the first. No score in the 6A state championship. Back here at UCCU Ballpark, Utah Valley University, bottom of the first inning. Coming up here, Bingham Miners at the plate. Nick Stevens will lead things off for Bingham. Pitching today is going to be Cody Nelson for Riverton.
Coach Applegate telling us that he's going to go with everyone he can. Dylan Sanchez is not going to be available to throw, so it's trying to find ways to get through this lineup, and he said all hands on deck to get to game 2.
And quickly here, Nelson finding himself behind in the count here, 2-0. There's a nice strike in by Nelson. This one hit to left. Nice play made out there by Young. He was all over that. One away.
Right, stay off the barrel of the bat. Turns into a can of corn out in the left field. It's a good way to start here for Cody Nelson.
Dustin, I mean, you acknowledge these are two different teams in their first meeting back in March, but important for Riverton to get off to a good start in this one just to kind of prove to themselves that they're a different team.
Yeah, and I don't think they think about it. I mean, baseball is such a cyclical thing. You look at this series throughout region play, and you'll have games where one team runs one team, they come back, and they're 2-run-1 ball games. And so it's one of those things where sometimes guys just have the bats going. And so you don't take a whole lot from that. And as a coach in baseball, you try to tell them, hey, it doesn't really matter because it'd be different guys on the mound and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it is important, though, especially just because they've been playing with so much pressure this week, speaking of Riverton, since losing to American Fork, just to continue to move forward.
Derek Sof at the plate here. You mentioned the 10-run. How about the Bingham Miners in that semifinal? They 10-runned American Fork, Dustin. I mean, no one really saw that coming. We thought that was going to be a premier matchup, and the Miners took care of business. The bats have been good here in the state tournament.
Yeah, Coach Sato doesn't like whenever I heap praise on his team in any way, shape, or form. But I said, hey, it sounds like the football team make mistakes and pounce on him. He kind of just laughed. He didn't want to partake. He goes, that's what we hope to do.
Yeah, they've done a good job of it. 1-2 the pitch. Soph. This one sent to short. Peterson with the throw. It's high, and it got past the first baseman. Wilstead able to chase it down and not allow Soph second base, but Soph able to reach here.
Yeah, E6 on that one on Peterson. Soph was flying up the line, so put pressure on Peterson. That's why you run, you youngins out there. Just because you top a ball, get your rear end up the line and force the infield to make a throw. But Peterson airmailed that one.
Going to be a man on here, and that on our scoreboard at least ruled an error.
Oh, definite error. That was a throwing error for sure.
I know. I just never like to throw that on a kid, you know. It is what it is.
I told you, we live in an age of no consequence, and so. But that was he reached because of a throwing error.
Noah Wallach steps up to the plate here for Bingham. First pitch strike thrown there by Nelson.
Biggest thing here. Sure, staff, these kids know too. Get something like that, it's okay. You got double play ball in order. And right now for Noah Wallach, as you tell any baseball player, hey, make it hurt. They just extended the inning, at least one out. Make it hurt.
Yeah, just one out here. Is that pitch in for a ball, even at 1-1. Going to come over, and boy, got to be careful there, Dusty Nelson. Not nearly a balk.
No, the motion has to just go straight over. If he starts the motion home, yeah, but he doesn't cross his leg.
So I felt like there was a bit of a hiccup there.
There's a hiccup, but I mean, you can do that.
Okay.
They were mad about the foot wagger, and you're not going to call. I mean, Clayton Kershaw would balk every time that he pitches.
Yeah.
From the stretch, if that was the case.
Okay. Pitch here from Nelson. This one fouled into right field. Still one away here as nice at bat here by Wallach. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, somebody out there thinks I'm wrong. That's fine. You can tell me. But yeah, you know me. You've been doing enough baseball games. Know that for left-hand pitchers get away with murder as far as it goes with box and throwing over to first base.
Again, coming to first, back safely. And the only reason I asked that is I know, leg movement and that sort of a thing, motion towards home. I just wasn't quite sure about the little hiccup in the leg, if that would classify as a balk or
so
not.
if his right leg crosses his left leg, goes beyond the rubber, he's now has to commit to going home.
This pitch hit to right. Sanchez appears to be underneath it. He'll make the catch for the second out. And boy, Soph thought about testing that arm, but he thought better of it. He'll return to first.
Soph's just trying to draw a throw from Sanchez. He wanted Sanchez to airmail one there. So you come off the bag really hard, see if you can get him to try to beat him at second base. Try to, test that machismo, if you will, and see if you can get one airmail because they would be standing at second.
Nick Burdett comes up to the plate here for Bingham. first baseman. Also had a nice semifinal, Dusty, if I recall correctly. Of course, everyone for Bingham had a real nice semifinal. Getting over to first, and that one a little more casual from Nelson.
Burdett went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI.
And that very common from Burdett, at least in the semi. He's doesn't swing at a lot of first pitches. At least he didn't against American Fork. He takes here 0-1.
Yeah, he's not a first pitch guy. Important here for Nelson just to get 2 outs, be smart. No reason to start igniting an inning here for Bingham by leaving something fat over the plate here to Burdett.
Can certainly make you pay if you give him a pitch to hit. This one in for a called strike 2. The count 1-2 here on the first baseman for Bingham.
Burdett through 29 games recorded, batting .400, 24 RBIs on the year, 4 home runs.
He's got Soph going for second. The throw will take a hop, and Soph is safe in at second base.
I wonder if Edwards, his arm's hanging a little bit from the outing on Wednesday night. He didn't come up juicing that one like you'd expect him to.
Yeah, short hopped it in there.
Yeah, he threw a lot of pitches on Wednesday night to get that win, that complete game win over American Fork.
2-2 pitch here to Burdett. This ball lifted to right center. Sanchez back, makes the catch. And the inning is complete. No score here from UCCU Ballpark. We're heading to the second in the 6A state championship. Top of the second inning here in the 6A state championship. Parker Applegate will lead things off here for Riverton.
Parker, the son of Coach Jay Applegate. He's just a sophomore, batting .370 on the year. 28 games reported. Been a very good year.
He might have a future, huh?
Just maybe.
That one just beyond the glove of Fowlks as Applegate safely aboard here to lead off the second inning for Riverton. Cooper Gray stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, nice job by Applegate. Get the leadoff man on and see if he can do something here. Left-handed sticks coming up. Cooper Gray batting .289 on the season.
Gray showing the bunt. Fowlks will pick it up. This will get the job done, and Fowlks is safe, able to beat it out.
Great job by Cooper Gray. When you're bunting a left-handed guy, he's already a couple steps closer to first base. Makes it imperative for a good throw, and Fowlks bouncing that one's what allows Gray to be safe at first base. So an infield single for Cooper Gray.
And 2 men aboard here for Riverton. No outs in the top of the second.
They put a lot of pressure on the defense. Get him on, move him over. And right now, third base playing back. I don't think he'll go for it again.
Yeah, Burdett coming up from first. As the designated hitter Hamblin comes on here, and strike one.
Hard to bunt a curveball. And I tell you guys all the time, just because I give you a bunt sign doesn't mean you have to bunt it. If there was a bunt steal, then yeah, you got to cover for your base runners. But if you're just giving you a straight bunt, you're getting a curveball. If you don't handle it well, that's fine. We'll go with it again. Either way, it's one of those things. Looks like they're going to go double crash here.
The throw back to second, and they got him. What a throw from Snar. As he's able to throw out. Is it Applegate at second?
Yep. I mean, that's just a great play there by Snar. And, again, try to bunt another curveball, couldn't get his bat on it. And the secondary lead from Applegate a little too aggressive. And a great job of snapping it down there by Snar.
First out of the inning, 0-2 pitch here to Hamblin. Able to put the bat on it. This over to short. Trying for the double play. They'll get the lead man out. Fielder's choice there. Would you rule out a fielder's choice?
It's fielder's choice. That's why he reached. Yep.
Hamblin to first.
Great play. I mean, that's just a terrific job by Wallach. First of all, he fills the hole, and the only play he has is the second base. He can't make the throw to first to get the out. So go to second base and able to get him the short way, and that's impressive.
And that was my question around the fielder's choice, because does he really have a choice? If he goes to first, both men are on safe.
Well, he chose to throw it to second base to get the out. That's why he reached.
Okay, fair enough. Buddy Young fouls this away.
So the rulings, those of you like to keep book or maybe don't understand it, a ruling when a guy gets on, if it's a single, wherever, it's how he got there. So the errors are given. He only reached because of that play, that error, that throwing error, the dropping the ball or anything else. On this one, the runner, Nate Hamblin, reaches because the fielder chose to go to second and get the out instead of going to first.
Great clarification.
Because if he throws to first, it's an infield single.
Right.
As it is, Hamblin's 0 for 1, but reached the bag. Those of you scoring at home.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that fielder's choice aren't counted a hit. 1-1 count here on Young. Swings through that one, 1-2. Nice pitch there.
Buddy Young, I mean, he's hitting a 9-hole, but it's not because he's not productive. Batting .348. And it's always nice if you got a guy that's willing to take that on and be the bridge to the top of the order.
Young tries to push this down the left line, that foul.
Great crowd on hand. We knew it would be. It was Bingham Riverton. It felt like we're going to have a good showing in that 6A state championship.
Especially on a Friday afternoon, a gorgeous one here in Orem. That pitch outside. Count evens up here 2-2.
Wanted to see if he can get him to chase one there. He chased that outside fastball earlier in the at-bat. Thought maybe get him to go at it again. We'll see if Coach Applegate, Hamblin might probably not the fleetest of foot to try to steal second base.
He's going to go. Young hits this to third, and tell you what, that time just eats it. Don't think that Safonia feels like he can make that throw.
Well, he's wanting to eat it because there's no reason to try to airmail one there. It wasn't the hardest hit ball, and that's why that's what they got Hamblin moving. They didn't want him to ground into a play like that, because if he doesn't move Hamblin, that's an easy throw to second base and get him the short way. So you put him in motion, get the bat off your guy's shoulder, and well executed.
Zach Peterson comes to the plate, top of the order here for Riverton with 2 away. Peterson thought about it, the throw to first, and that ball got through. Burdette couldn't handle it. They're going to send Hamblin home. Riverton looking for the early lead. He is slide and safe, and it is 1-0 Riverton here in the top of the second.
You live and die by being aggressive behind the plate like that, trying to throw behind. It worked earlier from Snar. Got the Applegate out at second base. He tries to snap it down behind the runner again. I was about to make a comment if he until I noticed the ball behind him. But Coach Applegate's going to have a heart attack. The fact these guys are getting picked off after pitches. and puts that one in the right field. And now you're sitting a runner at third base looking to go up 2.
Yeah, 1-0 count here with Zach Peterson. Can you bring in a second run just 90 feet away? Thought about offering there. Instead holds, it's 1-1.
You're going to pitch Peterson away. I mean, he walks that first step always to the outside. And that, to me, I throw him fastballs low and away, throw him fastballs out and up.
Able to make contact here. This one into foul territory. Sofonia giving chase for Bingham, and that one will drop between a pair of Miners. Really a trio, actually. They all got over there.
I don't know why Soph isn't under that ball. You get your third baseman and your shortstop Wallach nearly made it. I mean, Rafael Furcalish type of catch out there in left field. But Soph, I guess he's playing him more toward center. But watch Peterson. His first steps to the outside. So when you get something like that, you work him on the outer half of the plate because you're going to take his power away just by simply putting the ball somewhere where his strength is not when he puts his lead leg so far toward the third base.
That one inside. 2-2.
I've seen the patience here. And one note here for Zach Peterson. He's got the third most RBIs on this baseball team. Sanchez Edwards 33, 31, and then Peterson with 21. Rare for your leadoff man to be that high in the runs batted in.
Swung through that one. And once again, Falk's able to strike out the side, but the Silver Wolves are on the board. It's 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second on live.ksl and deseretnews.com. Bottom of the second inning. The Miners trailing here 1-0. As this ball sent into center field off the bat of Thomas. And one pitch, one away here for the Miners.
Living in the zone there by Cody Nelson. It was interesting talking to Coach Sato about getting to this game and asked him about things about his team. He said, it's our team chemistry more than our talent and our skill that's got us here.
Yeah.
These kids bought into each other. They're together. They're gelled. They're great chemistry, and that's what's gotten to this point.
Boy, big hack there by Dixon. Swung through at 0-1 the count. No, and this is a team, Dusty, that just kept winning. I mean, we didn't know that they were the best team in Region 4. Knew that series against American Fork would be big. They take 2 out of 3 in that one, become the region champions. And, I mean, the trend has just continued here in the state playoffs. They haven't lost. As, boy, an inside pitch there called strike 2.
And Bingham fans are frustrated because he threw his shoulder out at it. And, of course, Joe Dixon is wearing number 11 in memory of his former teammate, Bryson Hathaway, who was killed in an automobile accident in February. And a couple other guys actually were in the same number, including our starting pitcher today for Riverton, Cody Nelson, also wearing number 11 for that reason. Colton Easton from Lone Peak, and also Jordan High School, the 5A state champion, wearing hanging number 11 in their dugout to pay tribute.
Had that note sent to us, and it was great to see the community, really the community, reach out in support of the Hathaways and that tragedy from earlier this year as that pitch fouled away, 2-2 the count. Got him. That breaking ball just hit the outside corner, and Joey Dixon goes down on strikes.
The breaking ball in the outer half got him, froze him. He worked him inside and then threw him the chair with the deuce on the outside corner.
Nick Danes coming up to the plate here for Bingham, and the academic all-stater, Dusty, was recognized before this game for his accomplishment in the classroom. Nice recognition as you want to know the count here. Pitch in there for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, Danes on Wednesday was 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored.
Again, that breaking ball, that almost got Danes in the arm there. Trying to establish that pitch, Dusty. He's used it a couple times here in the early going. This one to shallow center. That's going to drop, and Danes is on here with 2 away. A mishandle in center, but it won't be costly for Riverton as Danes stays on first.
One dying quail, one ball with eyes. There's a difference between living in the minors and making it to the show. And for Nick Danes, that is the definition of the dying quail. And you'll take it. Line drive in the book. Actually, I swoop it a little bit, but still. It's just to remind me what the hit was like.
The book of Dusty Litzer truly is a work of art. It's awesome to be able to look over after a game and see that detail, and fantastic. 2 away here. As Camden Snar at the plate. Called strike 1.
I think the important thing right now for Nelson and for Coach Applegate is that he's not getting hit hard. You look at the balls that you've had to make plays on in this game. Derek Soph, the error at short was a throwing error. Wasn't sharply hit. That Danes single right there was not something on the barrel of the bat. The fly balls either, except the one to Sanchez.
This one low, the throw to second as Danes took off. It's going to be late. And Danes takes second base here.
That is great recognition by Nick Danes. Edwards nearly able to make the throw down there and get him, but Danes got a great jump after recognizing the bounce in the breaking ball.
I mean, that's just dropped. It doesn't even get by him, right? You got to be alert, decide quickly, and Danes able to take advantage here. 1-1 the count. This one hit to second. And again, a mishandle. And it is 2 men aboard here. Runners on the corners as Snar able to reach safely.
Well, that's one where Nelson's going to take a lot of that on himself, and he doesn't really need to. Ball hit like that, I mean, you can field it if you get it, you get it. And the second baseman's got to handle that one cleanly. So coming up and not getting it cleanly by Cooper Gray is really the biggest part there. And Cody Nelson was kicking himself afterward. Not really his ball to handle. If he can get it, awesome. If not, we got to have a second baseman come up, make that play calmly, and throw the ball to first base.
Pinch runner Tyler Kemp on at first base for Snar. As Carter Sifonia at the plate here, the third baseman, with 2 away.
Sifonia had an RBI single, or probably it wasn't an RBI single, grounded out, but he drove in a run via ground out in the semifinals.
That on the inside part, strike 1.
Tall kid, you obviously, which usually says long swing, so either bust him in on his hands or work him away.
1-1. Throw over to first base, runner back in time.
A lot of times a guy like this, you work him down and away, or you can work him up around the letters.
Runner goes. And that time, probably a good job by Edwards to not launch one into center field potentially and just give the runner second here with 2 outs.
Yeah, that was called from the dugout. Coach Applegate's trying to just tell him, hey, let's get the guy at the plate and get out of this inning. Working the 9-man, you've got to take care of the bottom of the order.
This ball ripped to short, but able to make the catch is Peterson. The Miners get base runners, but they leave them both on. 1-0 as we head to the top of the third in the 6A state championship on live.ksl and deseretnews.com. Top of the third inning, Gage Morris going to lead things off for Riverton here, holding the 1-0 lead. Tell you what, I mean, Ethan Fowles, he's pitched a good game here, Dusty.
He did a good job. I mean, you have the one run, and really comes from the throw behind the dish by Snar, but he's done a good job with these Riverton hitters.
I don't know, is that pitch off the plate?
This at bat will be one pitch longer than the first one.
But just one pitch, as that's able to just get past Siphonia, and Gage Morris able to single into left for another leadoff man aboard for Riverton.
Yeah, Applegate led off with a double, or probably a single last inning. So nice job by Gage Morris. There's two singles between short, and well, actually flipped the one over in the first inning. So now Dylan Sanchez with somebody aboard, see what we can do to move him around.
Again, no outs, so a lot of room to work here for Riverton in the top of the third. They need to win this game to force a game later today. If Bingham wins, they are the champion. As Sanchez to short, trying for the double play. Got there in time to get Morris out at second, much to the chagrin and dismay of some of the Riverton fans.
That is twice he's gone the short way, and that was very, very close.
That one extremely.
And Mr. Clark out there, the base umpire, he's been around for a very, very long time, does lots of games, and he's seen a lot.
Here's the other thing, Dusty. He's in good position to make the call, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, his eyes are right there. I always tell people, you know, he's got a better view than I do 100 feet away. And anywho, one out. Strike one there on Ryan Edwards.
Edwards was hit by a pitch in his first time up. Mentioned earlier, batting over 400. 10 doubles on the year. See if we can get something he can handle here. Fowles going to be working him down, see if we can get another ground ball.
A pitch inside. Count 1-1. This one just fouled away by Edwards.
1-2, and a guy that can handle the bat up there. See if Fowles is probably trying to nibble around the corners on this pitch. And then if Coach Applegate tries to get Dylan moving over there at first base, so they can get him to first or third.
1-2 pitch here from Fowles. This one sent into right off the bat of Edwards. And a catch made there by Thomas, 2 away.
Well, you know, we talk about it a lot. You can give up hits, can you scatter them? And what you mean by scattering these hits is that, look, you're getting out hit. You got 5 Riverton hits in 2 2/3 of an inning. Normally you think, okay, maybe there's a run attached to that. Yeah, but it wasn't because of it.
Yeah.
He's done a nice job. He's getting hit, but he scatters it, meaning that he limits the damage. They're getting guys picked off at second base, getting the short way outs with Wallach. And he's doing a nice job by Folks of letting his defense work behind him.
Just that defense trying to buy time for that Bingham offense to get going as Nelson steps up to the plate here. Ball 1. Does he have the same observation? I mean, how many times have there been guys thrown out? It's Riverton's been able to get men on, but haven't been able to bring them home. Swung through there by Nelson.
And Nelson went down swinging his last time up. It was a 1-2 pitch.
This one, fair. That's a fair ball. Well hit by Nelson down the line. And they're going to hold up the runner. They can get this back in quickly. And that time, Snar able to just shield that ball from getting away from him. But what a double hit there by Cody Nelson down the line.
And he took it just like you dream of getting. Speaking of Nelson, and that's a double, and you think Sanchez is going to come around. They were going to send him at first. That's why we really got up in the front of my seat. I wanted to see this throw. But a nice job of getting over that ball and getting it in by Brandon Thomas. and didn't even attempt it, although he probably would have scored had they sent him because the throw was offline a little bit.
Yeah. Curtis has come on to pinch run for Riverton at second base, and hey, we gave some love to the brains for Bingham. Curtis, also an academic all-stater, honored before this game. 2 away here for Parker Applegate. Men on second and third. That pitch doesn't get too far away from Snar, able to gather it.
Good job by Dylan Sanchez. Sometimes you get your guys who are really good, they're quick and all that stuff. They get so aggressive when they see that ball in the dirt. He could have got himself hung up between third and home.
A great opportunity here for Riverton in the top of the third, Dusty, to bring some more home, expand this lead a little bit.
And Applegate's bat that can do that, singled his first time up, right back up the middle.
Fouled away by Applegate.
Parker on the year, as mentioned earlier, 13 RBIs. He can make it 15. Now that give his team a major shot in the arm. There's something about when your team scores with 2 outs. On one side, all the confidence that starts coming in, and for the other side, it's just a frustration of getting out of innings, especially when you score 2 runs or more with 2 outs. So base hit here, I mean, it's a really big part of this ball game.
Pitch low, and it's 3-1, and then, boy, that's why you pay attention on the infield, because that pitch was off target from Falks, and the second baseman isn't there. Maybe you have an opportunity to bring someone in.
I think it was 2006 or 2007. Vince Francis and I are Angels fans, and we lost the division because Francisco Rodriguez did not catch a throwback from Jeff Mathis. Lost the division to the stinking A's.
This pitch singled into right. They're going to bring home the second play at the plate, and Snar couldn't catch it cleanly. It is a 2 RBI single. The lead 3-0 for Riverton.
How about that young sophomore? Clutch, 3-1, puts it right down the first baseline, and I love the aggression. And I think our third base coach, he learned his lesson when he didn't send Sanchez home the first time. What you're doing is you are forcing that outfielder some 150 feet away, or actually more than that, to be perfect on the throw. Force him to be perfect. He bounces it, 2 runs and a 3-0 lead.
Here's the other thing. You pinch run Curtis in this game at second base. You bring him on to send him.
Well, he's a speed up for Nelson, who's the pitcher.
Right. If you don't, I said pinch run, didn't I?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, if you don't send him there, then why do you make that? So
I get you.
I'm all about it. Agreed. Good decision there, as we'll have a visit here to the mound with the Silverwolves leading 3-0 here in the top of the third. And right now, this is just a bit of a pep talk, right?
Yeah, he's just come out and settle him down. Joey Sato will come out and make those pitching changes, but right now he's sending the coaches out, hey, we'll just calm down. Just remember what we're doing. We got 2 outs. We're going to take care of it. He's at first base. Just remember where we are. It's just kind of getting everyone together here.
It's still very early on. We've talked about these Bingham bats, Dusty, and they've scored double digits in every game of this tournament, if I recall correctly. I don't recall the Davis score.
I don't recall that one either.
But that's the only one that I'm not sure about. Every other game, they've had at least 10 runs. And so, again, kind of that philosophy, hey, just buy some time, right? And the offense will come around. You just got to get through some of these early innings and keep yourself in this game.
Well, there's 2 parts to this. I mean, now they have the bullpen going a little bit. One gets him a few more pitches down the left field line. And what you also do is right here. Now the home plate umpire, it's his job to keep time in this game. There's no clock. He's going to come break it up. So you come out and talk everybody up, calm everyone down, and you wait till the umpire comes up. And
actually, he's just joining in on the conversation.
Yeah.
Where are we going after the game, guys?
Yeah, exactly. Who's going on a mission? What are we getting them?
There's a Moochie's just up the road here. Anyone in?
We're too close to Pleasant Grove. You got to go to Chubby's on that one. And not to say Cubbies, but Chubby's.
Well, I was going to say Rocky Mountain Wings. You
Rocky Mountain
alerted
Wing
me to
Shack.
that
What am I
point,
doing?
Dusty,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, that's what we call free advertisement right there.
We are a generous people.
2 away here, top of the 3rd inning. Cooper Gray up at the plate here for Riverton. And ball 1 in on the second baseman.
Gray reached on an infield single.
Two and 0. The count now on Gray.
And right now, the coaching staff from Bingham obviously got the arm already going, and it's a frustrating thing. Go out, have a chat. You see 2 balls. Right now, you're sitting looking at a fastball.
Called strike. Nice pitch there. Good response from Falks.
Absolutely. So 2-1. You're looking for another one here. And to see if they get Applegate moving, because you're thinking fastball, maybe he throws a breaking ball, just try to keep him off balance. If it's a breaking ball, it's a good pitch for Applegate to steal on.
2-1. And that lined out to short. But Riverton able to plate 2 more. They lead 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd in the 6A state championship on live.ksl and desertnews.com. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Bingham up at the plate. Trailing here 3-0. Nelson has been good from the mound today for Riverton, as Stevens will lead things off.
The big thing right now for Bingham is not to press. There's no reason to get up here and try to do things out of the ordinary. Baseball is a simple game. Get the leadoff man on. We're going to move him around and try to find it that way. You get up all of a sudden, start doing things out of character, get outside yourself, what we call it, meaning over swinging, trying to make you're swinging too hard instead of just taking the ball where it is and getting on base.
This ball fouled back.
And I start believing Coach Applegate, and he told us his team, we're not nervous, we're loose, we're good to go.
Yeah, they've played that way, Dusty. Been aggressive, haven't let the worry or angst of their situation, at least it hasn't shown today. They've been good. And
he brought it up. He said, look, we played 5 of these games with 1 loss with our season on the line.
Got Stevens looking. He thought that might have been a little inside, but hey, that's been called a strike all day long, and 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Second strikeout of the game for Cody Nelson, the second called strikeout.
Soph will come to the plate here for Bingham. Pitch. High ball 1.
Soph reached on an error. That was the overthrow from Peterson in the first inning.
And the other thing going here, Dusty, and much like that semifinal game, getting good play from Nelson. Haven't had to worry about, going to the pen or anyone else. He's looked really strong here in the first 2 1/3. And if you're Riverton, you have to win 1 more if you win this one, but it's nice to not have to utilize the pen too much in this one.
Absolutely.
To this point.
Anyway, keep your arms in order. Coach Applegate said, hey, we'll do whatever we need to get to that game. And you say that, and then in your mind, but please don't make me.
Right. I will if I have to. I'd rather not. And a walk there to Soph. We'll call that broadcaster's curse. Just throw that one on me. Don't put it on Nelson. I'll take that one.
Well, Sofa's one bat that you don't want to mess around with. He's a leading hitter, 443 on the year.
No Wallach to the plate here, one away.
Wallach batting 345, 19 RBIs. 25 runs scored, leading the way for the Miners.
Ball one to Wallach. This one high, and it's 2-0. And now probably a good decision here by Edwards just to go out there and try to settle things down here from the mound.
Absolutely. 6 of the last 7 pitches are balls and not even close from the zone. You know, it's one thing to miss and make him enticing. It's another thing to miss, and it's no doubt.
Yeah.
Just try to settle him in. Hey, work it, you know, get things back together, work him down, and he knows what he has to do. Just get him the second.
2-0 pitch. Make that 3-0 now. Still no action in the pen, and I mean, I wouldn't either. It's a one-hitter right now. I mean, you know, no need to overreact, but you start making some pitches, and there's a nice one there. It's 3-1.
Hey, you got to do it again. You got to make Wallach earn it. You can't just hand him a bag here and give him first and second. The runner in scoring position and cutting this down to a 2-run game.
That pitch high, and there's 2 men aboard. Soph on second, Wallach on first. And the first baseman, Nick Burdett, coming up, but we'll get a visit at the mound here for Riverton first.
And Coach Applegate, a lot of times when you come out here again, it's to calm everybody down, and not only that, it's just go over assignments. You don't want someone trying to do too much and overdoing something. And on top of it, you know, first and second, one out. Hey, just get a ground ball. We're going to talk about depth of where we are in the infield and things like that. Just trying to get everybody settled in. Not only that, for Cody, just to remind him, hey, we trust you. Just throw strikes.
Yeah.
They got you behind you. Just work him down. Make sure they get the ball on the ground, and we'll take care of it for you.
I never pitched, but I would imagine just like a lot of other things, right? You try to do it all yourself. You put that pressure on yourself, makes you more tight and not as loose in your delivery, and leads to these types of situations.
The other thing you tell them is you dare miss this ball up and out over the plate, or this game will be tied, and all of our hard work in the first 3 innings are all for naught.
Nick Burdett at the plate here. Men on first and second, one away in the bottom of the third. When I thought that
it can bounce.
Hit.
It can bounce.
Okay. Well, I was going to say I thought it might have hit Nick, but
I think it did. I think, but it got him off the bounce.
Okay. That inside. Strike one, 1-1 the count here.
I thought that caught most of the plate on its way in. So 1-1. Big pitch there for Nelson. Can he put 2 together? For Burdett, it's looking on that one you want and letting it fly from there. And I tell you, he's laying off some pitches that even my eyes are getting big on.
Yeah, that one I thought was a pretty good pitch. 2-1 the count. Burdett into left field. They're going to hold the runners. Great job coming up quickly there by Buddy Young to get this ball back in the infield and not allow a run. But right now, the base is full of Bingham Miners.
Yeah, game time run on first base. Nice job by Burdett. You just see this team. I mean, you go through the stats here for the Miners. Not a lot of extra base hits. I mean, Burdett is tied for first with doubles. Now, this is what's reported with 6. And then Danes with 6. So this is a team, a lot of station-to-station baseball with singles.
Thomas at the plate, watches strike one. And I would imagine the way this inning's gone, Dusty, if I'm Thomas, I'm going to be extremely patient at the plate here.
Absolutely.
0-1 pitch, fouls that one back, and now quickly Brandon Thomas down 0-2.
But we talked about this earlier this week with Olympus and Skyridge and other games. That right now, not overwhelming stuff from Nelson, so sometimes the coach gets a little frustrated. It's not like he's up there throwing BBs.
got him on the inside part, and I don't think Thomas liked that location either, but it is a 3-pitch strikeout for Cody Nelson, 2 away.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. It is 3rd strikeout, all called at the plate.
You know, it's one of those things where if that inside part is going to be a strike, then you got to start swinging at it. You know, I mean, you got to adjust to the way things are called. This one inside. That was Joey Dixon up at the plate here with 2 away.
I love you hear that it's the same pitch. It really wasn't. I mean, he's about 3 inches more inside than he was on the called strike 3.
2-0 the count here.
Well, he called the strike.
Excuse me. My bad. I looked away early. 1-1. A little bit of a delay here. That one caught me. This one coming up high.
A lot of times your umpires, depending on who they are, they'll have different actions.
Yeah.
You know, some do the tomahawk pull on the called strike 3, and sometimes on the call, yep, and then they call it.
I'm more along the lines of, I'm like the Lindsey Nielsen guy, right? Like, let's make it real clear. That one's clear. Nice pitch, and it's 2-2. Cody Nelson trying to get out of the inning with no damage done. Bases full, 2 outs.
Big pitch here on both sides.
It's going to be a lot of momentum. Fouled away, and Dixon able to stay alive.
That's one, Coach Applegate, that looks more like the first 2 innings from Cody Nelson. Shaft shots, I mean, most of these innings have ended on that. And see if he can get him one more. He misses the barrel of the bat.
Struck him out. Cody Nelson makes the pitch. The Miners strand 3. We head to the top of the 4th with Riverton leading 3-0 in the 6A state championship. Top of the 4th inning and a new pitcher for the Miners, Jackson Dial, on the mound here for Bingham. Trailing 3-0, and Coach Soto needing to get his pitching. Hasn't been terrible, but Riverton's just taking advantage of the opportunities they've had.
Well, some of it is if your offense is showing that you're going to have struggles, you don't want this to get to 5 runs. And it's either make the decision now at the beginning of the inning or you wait till a runner or 2 get on, and then you surrender another run. And, again, your offense is not having their day-to-day, and you're asking them to score 4 runs to send this thing to extra innings or something like that. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We're going to start over, turn the page, and try to hold this game to 3 runs because he believes he can get 4.
0-2 pitch here. As this one gets through the infield. Hamblin able to chop that one through, and he's aboard again to lead off an inning. Dusty, I think that's 3 straight innings with the leadoff man aboard.
It is second, third, and now the 4th inning. And for Nate Hamblin, that was a terrific bat. I mean, you get down 0-2, but he doesn't press. That pitch caught too much of the plate, or enough of the plate to handle, and gets it out in the outfield.
Buddy Young up at the plate, and on deck will be the top of the order with Zach Peterson. Young was showing the bunt. This one fouled back. To your earlier point, I mean, Dusty, leave the bases full in a 3-0 game. I mean, you hate to say, is that the ball game? But, man, what does that do momentum-wise for each of these 2 dugouts?
Well, just next time it happens, because it will happen again, you're going to come back up. You're going to have an inning where you're going to have 1 out with runners on second and third. And who's going to come through the clutch hit? So I was talking about the one with Applegate. That's so much momentum there. When you're getting that kind of hit, scoring 2 runs with 2 outs, you're grabbing a ton of momentum and confidence up and down your lineup.
Again, Young showing bunt here. He'll pull back. Taking high, ball 1.
Buddy Young singled to the left side. At his first at bat, just barely beat out the throw.
He'll square up here. This one foul.
Love the idea. Even pushing toward the third side, it makes it a longer throw. But now he's going to have to shorten up 1 and 2, see if he can bridge the top of the order and put a runner in scoring position for Peterson. Mentioned earlier that Young is batting 9th, not because he's not a good hitter. This kid is batting over 340 on the season.
And really for this very purpose that we have here in the top of the 4th. We'll make contact. Boy, great play. Back to first, and Young able to beat it out, but fantastic job by Burdette, able to pluck that out and then make the throw to the shortstop to get the out.
Yeah, great job by Burdette, and the great hustle by Buddy Young. Again, the left-hander getting there. You know, the pitcher has to get over. That wasn't the reason why he was safe. I mean, Buddy Young's flying up the line. But good job by Bingham. Good job by Burdette. Get the lead out. Double play ball still in order, getting to the top of the order.
Shortstop Zach Peterson up at the plate here. Throw back to first, and Young back in time.
Well, now they don't want to play in speed around. So now Peterson struggled from the plate today. Go hit and run with good speed at first base. And partly why you want to mess a little bit here for Riverton is to see if you can get a fastball for Peterson. If you can use a guy at first base to help bait a fastball, it's going to help your hitter as well.
He's back to first, that one high. A 1 pitch from Dial. That one on the outside part, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, get mixed up on the signs there. Big thing here is just to help Dial stay calm. Get him recenter, get back on the same page.
And Dusty, called pitch out there?
And that one, I don't know if it was actually a pitch out. They're pitching him away because a lot of times, not just a pitch out. You want to pitch him outside. It gives him the clear throw to second base, but bouncing that breaking ball nearly works against that. It's counterproductive. And now Buddy Young doing his job, going to step out, recenter, Zach Peterson. He set up, and not only that, we talked about earlier, is trying to get a fastball for Peterson at the plate by showing pressure with Buddy Young at first base.
They're going to try to go back to first. Burdette was there. Boy, you got to be careful, huh? Because Burdette had to go to the ground again to save that one from skipping into right.
Yeah, and that's the, they keep pitching out because they're trying to catch him in a hit and run. Yeah, hit and run or a straight steal, but more than likely, Coach Sato knows it's a hit and run situation.
2-2 pitch, and Young goes. Then this one hit to the gap in left center. This to the wall. They're going to send around Young. Peterson's going to hold at second, and it's an RBI double, 4-0 for the Silver Wolves.
You see right there, we asked Coach Applegate before the game, say, Coach, what's it like to have a lineup of guys that will hit the ball where it's pitched no matter where it is, no dead pull hitters? He goes, it's really nice. And the reason being is that you can do things like this. Anybody who comes up now, Peterson, Morris, Sanchez, Edwards, even Cody Nelson. And then throw Parker Applegate in there. 1 through 7, I can go hit and run with any of them, meaning they're going to take the ball where it's pitched. I know they can get contact on it, and you keep yourself out of double play balls. That's the whole purpose of that, was to make sure that didn't happen and to get Peterson off the schneid a little bit.
Gage Morris at the plate showing bunt. This one hit right back to Dial. Dial tries for the play at third, and that one got past the third baseman. It is going to bring home a run. It is 5-0, and how about this? Into third, the runner is safe. Gage Morris able to get all the way to third.
He'll take that fielder's choice all day long.
And that's why you take the easy out at first, right, Dusty?
Well, I get why he's trying to cut it down. You're trying to limit runs. If it's a good throw, he's got him. He just sends it up the line. So a good throw, he actually thought he made the right decision there. If you got it cleanly and you're up quick, trying to get the lead out at third base and limit what's going on the scoreboard, totally got that. You just got to make a better throw. I'm sure Coach Sottle, maybe Coach Rasmussen, probably saying what you're saying. Just get the out at first base.
Well, they're actually looking at Sophonia. He came over, made a motion, almost like he got caught up high with something. Not quite sure what's going on. And I mean, for me, it kind of comes back to you get the batter out, right? I mean, you're going to take third. We'll make the play at first, have 2 outs, come back, get the batter. We're out of the inning. I know there's a lot of hypotheticals in there, but man, the throwing errors today by Bingham have been costly now, bringing in a couple runs.
Yeah, well, you take it, giveth and taketh away, because remember at the beginning, you had Applegate getting picked off at second base when Snar backdoored him, and so that just kind of opens that confidence. And not only that, they're already confident about it anyway, and now it's just come back to hurt him a little bit. But again, I understand why he went to third, and I get also the idea of, hey, let's just go to first, get the out, get to 2. But you're also trying to limit runs.
Right. Especially with only having 2 hits in this game for Bingham up to this point. Dylan Sanchez up at the plate. Gage Morris on third here. Ball 1 to the right fielder, Sanchez. Infield shallow here for Bingham. That one fouled away.
Sanchez reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Mentioned batting .455 on the season, so you're looking about 50% here. Whether or not he's going to get it, the leading RBI man for the Silver Wolves. And not only that, playing injured as well.
Yeah, I thought there was a potential we might see him on the mound today, but he's in right field. Just pitch again outside, 2-1 here.
Hey Dane, what's one of my favorite counts?
Is it 2-1?
2-1.
All right.
But now Dylan Sanchez, the base open, you're fine. 2-1, I love it because you always got a fastball, more than likely.
He lifts this one to center. It'll be deep enough. Morris able to tag here. The catch is made by Stevens. And Morris comes in on the sacrifice fly. It is 6-0 Riverton.
Nice piece. I think he was sitting fastball, got a looping breaking ball deep enough, and Sanchez can go in feeling really good, driving another run, because Riverton's going to feel pretty solid about themselves, sitting 6-0, feeling like we're going to be seeing a 4:30 ball game.
Yeah. Ryan Edwards coming to the plate here. And, man, when we talk about offenses showing up Riverton today, just they've been extremely solid from the plate. And the bad thing here is we've got kind of a little precedent going here for Riverton. No runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth. What's going to happen in the fifth, sixth, seventh? Because 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm just teasing.
Don't give me math problems on graduation day. So I got into sales. You can figure out commissions real easy.
That one sent right back up into center by Ryan Edwards. As he'll hold it first. It's a 2-out single. The bats just keep coming for Riverton.
He's trying to start it up again. Nice, I mean, that's a good at-bat there from Ryan Edwards, who was 0 for 1. But now Cody Nelson, the pitcher, I mean, he's got to be feeling so good now. Got a 6-run cushion.
Pinch runner, Houston comes on to first for Edwards, who will head back to the dugout. You know, the thing is, if you're Bingham, it's not like you're that far away, right? I mean, 6 runs on the board, I get it, but I mean, some of the errors have led to what, half of those, and really even the last inning. I mean, they have the bases full, so they've starting to get some opportunities. Just got to be able to capitalize on those.
Absolutely, and when they had some opportunities earlier in the game and unable to capitalize on them, and so it's just the differences, right? We talk about Applegate getting that double with 2 outs. This kind of opens things up, and the reason I brought that up as a big pitch at the time was because of things like this, because now there's just, hey, we get through those, where Bingham has bases loaded and can't come through, and it's just one of those things now you're starting to fight yourself a little bit.
0-2 pitch here, 2 outs to Nelson. Struck him out. Nice pitch to get out of the inning there by Dial, but Riverton tacking more on. It is 6-0 Silverwolves. Bottom of the 4th coming up next. Bottom of the 4th inning, the designated hitter, Nick Daines, to the plate for Bingham. Got to find that offense as Riverton keeps chalking up runs here.
And Daines a good bat to be doing that. He's had a good year from the plate. Not going to show a lot of power, but this is a kid that gets things started. Him and I would say he and Soph are almost a mirror image of each other. I want to say mirror image because they're both bat from the left side part of the plate, but a duplicate rather. Batting .327 on the year.
Bottom of the lineup for the Miners here to start off the bottom of the 4th inning. Is count now 2-1. This pitch fouled back. And we talk about only 2 Bingham hits, but they have had base runners. The walks, a couple errors have led to some base runners. It's been a bend but don't break mentality by the defense of Riverton in this one.
I mean, and not only that, Nelson pitched his way out of harm.
Swung through, and that one tipped. So staying alive here, 1-2.
Yeah, Edwards couldn't squeeze that one. That would have been strike 3.
Got him looking. Another one goes down, Dusty, where the bat doesn't leave the shoulder.
That's the fourth. The fourth called at the plate. Some go backwards K, I just go KC. So strikeout called at the plate. And number 4. And Nelson, I mean, if you go watch, you're watching this game, like, how is this happening? Right? And I think that's part of the frustration, especially younger coaches. Coach Sato's seen everything, but younger guys like myself, it's like, how is this happening? And you start glorifying your own days when you played baseball, when the same thing happened to you. And Coach Sato, who seems to just turn out coaches that come back and play for him, say, well, I remember when you did the same thing.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot easier when you're not standing there, right? This pitch fouled away to right by Camden Snarr. Count now 0-2.
It was what Alex Wolf called the first game with me, and Alex played so much baseball and one of the better players to come out of the state in the last 12 years. He told me, he's like, he's had these junk pitchers. He's like, he goes, I struggled with them because their breaking ball keeps you off balance, and then they throw this 82-mile-an-hour fastball, and it feels like it's 90. He's like, it's just hard, and that's right now with Nelson what he's doing. He doesn't throw overly hard. He's not going to overpower you. He's going to throw a lot of strikes, and that breaking ball keeps you just guessing. And then when he does come in with that fastball, it looks a lot harder than it is.
It's the comparative, right?
Yes.
That fastball comparative to the other pitches you're seeing, it becomes more deceptive than maybe it really is. This ball fouled away again, and a nice battle here from Snarr.
And right now for Nelson, I mean, he's throwing this breaking ball for strikes, which means you're going to get some, foul ball strikes and things like that. And now he can come right at him. He's 0-2. Actually, I got him a 1-2, but he has plenty to work with here to nibble around the corners.
Foul again. For Bingham, you're just looking for something to go right. Right, we just need to get a little bit of momentum, and it's one of those offenses that once that happens, it can start to roll.
Well, the thing is that you've had good at bats. You've done things that you wanted to do, and it's just coming through on it. And that's what's even more frustrating. You're doing the things as players that the coaches are asking you to do, and it's just not falling in. That's the funky game of baseball.
Goes back to that breaking ball. Couldn't get it over the plate.
So you come inside here.
He called it. Quick on the tag there from Edwards to strike out Camden Snarr.
And you see the rhythm he's in, and that's something that coaches on the bench are probably trying to pick up on as well to try to help these guys out. You don't want to feed him through your hitters too much information. You want him thinking up there. You want him, like Maverick said, if you think you're dead, you just got to react to it.
Nice pitch there. Strike one is Carter Safonia up at the plate here for Bingham.
Safonia hit a little shaft shot liner to end the second inning.
There it is again, Dusty. We've talked about that pitch. Able to throw it there for the second strike of the at-bat.
Yeah, come up and in on his hands right here.
That pitch a little off target, ball one.
That was a great pitch. Especially up 0-2. Make it enticing. Safonia just got to hang around, see if he can get deeper into the count.
This ball to right, foul territory. It will drop. Safonia will retreat back to the batter's box.
And actually, I take it back on his line drive. It was actually kind of a shot. He thought it might have hopped. He was speeding up the baseline, hoping maybe he hit a hard ground ball. Back at the end of the second inning.
This one low, smothered by Edwards. Safonia able to work back here, 2-2.
2-2 bag open. You got hard lineup, your top lineup coming up. Safonia see if he can bridge it.
One high, the count now full.
Well, don't become a swing-o-matic. This is why. You can work yourself all the way back down 0-2.
Outside, Riverton wanted it, but it is ball four, and Carter Safonia heads to first base on the walk.
Now, you can be frustrated that's ball four, but that was also ball two. Exact same pitch. Actually, even ball one for that matter.
Yeah. No, I thought that was the right call. I thought that was off the plate, but you heard a bunch of cheers from Riverton thinking that was going to expire the inning. It doesn't. So we go back to the top of the lineup with Nick Stevens.
You know, and that's the same pitch. But it really wasn't.
Stevens swung on that one, fouls it away, and quickly down here 0-2.
When you see how he got to 0-2 the first time, or just recently there against Siphonia, and then probably got a little cute there behind the plate with Edwards and all of that with Nelson. I don't get too cute here. Coming at him.
Especially with the lead you have. Got him. Inside part of the plate again. Strikes out the side, 6-0 as we head to the top of the 5th.
The official baseball, the UHSAA state championship. Learn more about Wilson and their outstanding sporting goods for youth sport. Visit wilson.com. For the Silver Bowl, playing their base number 2, Parker Applegate.
Top of the 5th inning in the 6A state championship, the Riverton Silverwolves with a 6-0 lead over Bingham. Leading off this inning will be Parker Applegate. First pitch in for a strike.
To borrow a phrase, hitters are going to hit. And, man, we saw that from Jordan in Game 1, and we knew Riverton was going to come out and pepper the baseball. Look at that, 10 hits through 4 innings.
A little bit of movement in the Riverton bullpen. Zach Peterson warming up. Is this pitch outside, 2-1?
And nothing else for Coach Applegate. You got to have some insurance. You got to have you want Peterson at least get some work off the mound over there. And you got to nail this thing down in his mind. You get the closeout innings here, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And he's got to make sure that you got your plan together.
It's 6-0, but it's still just 6-0, right?
Yeah. And the difference is, in high school, you go throw a guy out in the pen in Major League Baseball or minor league ball, he's going to have to come in. But in high school, it doesn't really matter so much. A little more him up, and he might throw, then you have him ready for the next one.
Well, we were talking during the inning, or, between the innings there about, if we had another game and who does Riverton throw. And that, to me, I think is going to be something interesting that we'll have to look forward to, assuming that this lead holds. This ball hit into center. Applegate on the fly out to center as Stevens able to make the catch.
Just missed that one. And, and to your point, it was funny. We asked Coach Applegate and said, hey, who's going to start for you? Committee. And then he's got to be really pleased with getting out of Nelson. 2 hits from holding Bingham to 2 hits, and he's worked his way through, and he's getting strikeouts. None of that. I think he's become more consistent. That last inning was probably one of his better innings.
This one hit right back, able to be hit down by Dial, makes the throw over to Burdett, and boy, that's why you got to be alert as a pitcher, huh?
Well, luckily, it hit the glove.
Yeah, no, it was inches away from being much more severe than it really was.
It's funny, I got a lot of friends that might not be baseball guys. We go to games, minor league games, they're like, well, why don't they use middle bats? I'm like, do you want to die?
Yeah.
You have to have your pitcher stand behind a brick wall.
Yeah.
Not only that, you would have to send that netting all the way down the line.
Up at the plate here, the designated hitter, Nate Hamblin. So strike 1 called on Nate. The count 1-1 here.
Hamblin reached on a fielder's choice and then singled his last time up.
Swung through that one, took a good hack at it.
He wasn't getting cheated on that one. That's a short porch, 305 down the line.
Dial trying to get out of this inning to hold Riverton scoreless for the first time since back in the first. Got him swinging. Dial strikes out the side. To the bottom of the fifth we go. 6-0 Riverton in the 6A state championship on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. Derek Soph to lead off the bottom of the fifth for Bingham. As it is still Cody Nelson on the mound here for Riverton. And I like this. I mean, you're going to have to play another game today. We've talked about Sanchez and Edwards obviously pitched in the semi. I mean, no need to expire your pitching staff while your starter's still going strong.
And that's the thing. I mean, really what you're, for Coach Applegate, right, keep everything in order. You got to have a plan.
Strikeout there. Just another one on the day for Nelson as Soph swings through.
He struck out the fourth. Struck out the side. Looking, swinging, looking. Comes right back with another swing strikeout. I mean, Nelson's living in the zone. He has got Bingham hitters off balance. They're not able to sit back and find exactly what they want because he's living in the zone. There he goes, start on top. That's how you have to live as a pitcher. If you do that, you're going to eliminate the amount of pitches you throw. Not only that, you're going to get deeper into games because these guys from Bingham are not finding something they're going to go eat on.
Chop to short. Nice play. Relatively easy out there for Riverton.
Yeah, very easy. I mean, they took a candy hop there for Zach Peterson, a nice strong throw. And man, I'm just getting more and more impressed with Cody Nelson. The deeper we're getting here, the better he's looking.
Nick Burdett coming up here for Bingham, the first baseman. A guy you got to be cognizant of at the plate. But man, if I'm Nelson, I just keep coming right at him, huh?
Absolutely. And Burdett, one of the two hits in this game.
Pitch inside, 1-0.
And he and Nick Daines are the only ones with hits. Just missed on that pitch.
How many men has Nelson walked?
Give me 1 second. I will tell you.
3-0 the count here. As the patience here by Burdett paying off in this at-bat.
2 walks.
2 walks.
Make it 3.
There's a third. 4-pitch walk for Burdett as Brandon Thomas will come up to the plate. We'll get a visit here from Ryan Edwards.
You look at Bingham, I mean, men left on base. Now, this isn't runners, just runners in scoring position. 1 left in the first, 2 left in the second, 3 left in the third, 1 left in the fourth. Now, in scoring position, they left 4 in scoring position.
That bottom of the third looming large here with the 3 men left on. First pitch strike here, thrown to Brandon Thomas.
And really, the reason that bottom of the third was really big was because the top of the third was where Riverton came through with a 2-out single with runners on second and third.
0-2 the count as Thomas took one on the inside part.
Yeah, that's been the punch-out area. And Ryan Edwards, go right back to it. Right at till it bucks you.
Goes up high, gets Thomas swinging. To the top of the 6th, the Silver Wolves coming up. Buddy Young to lead off the top of the 6th for the Silver Wolves. Dial still on the mound here for Bingham. He's been good as Young sends this over to Dixon. And the throw out, there's one away.
This is a point for Coach Applegate. Talking to guys like, hey, we got a good lead here, but we have got to keep adding runs. And 2 reasons. One, you want to add runs for this game for obvious reasons, but the other one is to keep just things going in the next game. You want to create as much doubt in the heads of Bingham heading into a second game if it happens as absolutely possible. So get yourself into counts and keep doing what we're doing. We're going to go from 1st to 3rd. We're going to score. We're going to be aggressive. And for Bingham now, it's just shut things down and see what you can do in the next 2 at-bats.
Well, some of that's just mentality for the next game, right? You take your foot off the pedal, and sometimes you see it's hard to get it back on. And I know it's a separate game, but the reality is that's an hour away. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of time to turn around and get yourself ready for game 2 today.
And the thing is about baseball, when you actually take your foot off the pedal, it's mentally. You know, it's one thing in football when you're up and all of a sudden you just let things go and all that kind of stuff. But baseball, it's a mental thing.
This ball into right center. Coming over to make the catch is Thomas. There's 2 away here in the top of the 6th.
Well, let's take a moment and appreciate Jackson Dial. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 5th. Now he's got just quick 2 outs here. I mean, he's done a very good job coming in relief for Folks. But back to that idea, the thing about the mental part of it. Remember, 90% of this game is half mental.
Yeah.
My favorite Yogi Berra quotes.
Gage Morris out of the play. I was going to say happy graduation day. Math major. 9% half major.
Yeah. I can do numbers. It's the magic numbers and the fake ones you have to come up with and some of these other ones.
Morris sends this one to Wallach, able to get it over, and that one, Dusty, another play that can't be completed, and it ends up with Morris being safe at first.
Yeah, we're going to see if they rule out a hit and gave him an error. E3. Actually, we'll go E3, or I'm probably go E6. It's more of the throw than anything else. He was not a routine dig there, a routine play for first base caused by the shortstop.
Dylan Sanchez up at the plate here with 2 outs. Runner goes. Sanchez into right center. Racing over and making the catch on the run is Thomas, and that'll expire the Riverton Bats. We head to the bottom of the 6th in the 6A State Championship on live.ksl and deseretnews.com. Joey Dixon, first at the plate here for Bingham. Danes and Snar due up in this inning.
Been a tough afternoon for Dixon. Went down looking, then went down swinging. In fact, when we talked about how much better Nelson's gotten as game's gone, he has not come to the plate since the third inning.
Wow.
So he went back-to-back second and third innings and then has not come back to the plate since then.
1-1. This ball sent to left. That's going to be foul. One-two pitch here. Fouled back again by Dixon.
Well, for Dixon here, it's imperative for Bingham. Got to get the leadoff guy on in this inning. You got to get somebody at second base before 2 outs to see if you can spark something. Again, if nothing else to come back in this one, see if you can get the championship now. Again, it's that rhythm. It's just a good feeling, good mojo heading into what could possibly be game 2.
2-2 pitch. This one popped up, left side. And that catch made by Applegate for the first out.
Let me get a little nitpicky here. Great job by Applegate. Actually, great pitching there by Nelson. That is the shortstop's ball. If he comes over and calls you off, you peel away. Outside man gets it. But Applegate was clear underneath it. Peterson let him take it. That's nitpicky.
Strike one on Nick Danes. Maybe the shortstop didn't call him off. Maybe he was just backing him up.
Absolutely. Could have said, hey, it's yours. That's probably what he did.
Oh-2 here on Danes. I'm just trying to defend Applegate.
No, I think I probably, he probably did. Because you saw him say something.
Yeah.
So you probably could tell him, hey, it's yours.
This ball fouled away again.
And Danes, one of the 2 hits, got that hit back in the second inning, was stranded at third base.
Inside, and that hit Danes on the elbow.
I thought it hit the bat.
It sounded loud. I mean, so I initially thought it hit some sort of protection.
Trust me, he hit him in the elbow.
You're not running down that briskly?
No, that hurts. And that's what Coach Applegate's saying, the same thing. Like, if he's saying forearm, then the knob, I mean, that's even stranger. But you heard something.
Yeah.
And if it's his elbow, that hurts.
See, and I figured that there was some sort of protection because you heard, like you could hear that hit very, very distinctly.
And to defend the home plate umpire, I was talking with on Monday. We had a situation at Jordan Timpanogos game, and I talked to the home plate umpire. I remember we had the catcher's interference.
Yeah.
I said, hey, what happened there? And he told me, he said, Dusty goes, I just heard 2 thumps. He said, and at first, I called timeout because I needed a minute. He goes, I needed a minute to kind of clear my head. And he goes, and at that point, I called in my umpires. And that's when he had the conversation. Hey, what did you see? Oh, they're changing pitchers.
Yep. Cody Nelson's day is done from the mound. A fantastic outing. He goes 5 1/3, 2 hits allowed. We'll be back with a new pitcher here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now pitching for Riverton, number 28, Zach Peterson.
Zach Peterson, the new pitcher for Riverton here in the bottom of the 6th, 1 away. As up to the plate here will be Camden Snar for Bingham. But what a day, Dusty, by Cody Nelson.
Absolutely, and we'll total up those numbers for you. He's still responsible for the man on first base.
First pitch strike there from Peterson.
Camden is 0 for 2 today, reached on an error in the 2nd inning.
So Ryan Edwards has moved out to short. I'm trying to get the new catcher. Might be Dimmick. It is. Dimmick, the new catcher, on here for Riverton, as that ball fouled away by Snar. The count 0-2.
Just trying to get an idea what Coach Applegate decided to do here, because he might have lifted the DH.
Over to first. We'll get back
Oh, never
safely
mind.
there.
What am I thinking? Edwards is at short.
Yeah.
Never mind.
All good. 0-2 pitch. One fouled back by Snar.
But he probably did lift Hamblin and bring in Dimmick. So Dimmick will be batting in Hamblin's spot there in the 8th hole.
Fouled back again. First, no play at the bag. They'll get back here with Peterson. This ball hit. Boy, nice snag by Applegate to second. They get the out there to first. Double play. And Riverton's out of the inning. To the top of the 7th we go. The Silver Wolves howling here at UCCU Ballpark. Top of the 7th inning. And what a beautiful way to get out of the bottom of the 6th, Dusty. 5-4-3.
Yeah, Applegate, I thought that was a great play. Throws it from his knees, throws it on the money, and able to get the turn off of that. Because when he first threw it, I'm like, no way you're turning this thing.
Yeah.
That was a terrific turn by Cooper Gray.
Ryan Edwards to lead off Riverton here in the top of the 7th. He takes called strike 1.
Edwards 1 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch, then singled.
Strike 2. And that one on that inside portion, maybe a sarcastic clap or two from the Bingham side. That's been one of those pitches that they've struggled with today. Edwards just able to lift that into left. And Dusty, to your point, I mean, it's been their MO, right? Do what you can with it.
Take it where it's hit, or where it's pitched, pardon me. Hit it where it's pitched. And not only that, when you talk about shortening it up, that's shortening up. That pitch is close enough to the zone. He can do something with it. Wasn't trying to crush it, just going to flip it out in the left field. Terrific piece of hitting there by Ryan Edwards.
Cody Nelson up at the plate here. So, Dusty, I think you're right. Hamblin been lifted. As Nelson takes a called strike one.
Yeah, you don't want to pull your 5 hitter. You'll find spots to put him.
Time tried to be framed by Snar, but off the plate, 1-1.
Nelson 1 for 3 on the afternoon with a run scored. Doubled back in the 3rd inning.
Snar able to handle that, keep it in front of him. 2-1 here, the count.
Remember, the double was the one right down the line. That's what moved Sanchez to 3rd and set up Parker Applegate for that 2 RBI single.
Checks on Edwards back at first base.
You talk about, I mean, we mentioned Dial last inning. I mean, in order in the 5th, 4 batters in the 6th. He's done a good job of stopping the bleeding for Coach Sato.
And when he came on, Dustin, it was one of those where it was like, well, you hope that he can shut down Riverton and that your offense will get going. It just, that second part hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't, and you know, that's a credit to Cody Nelson. I mean, I can't speak enough to what he did in this game to help himself out, but all that help his team out and frustrate the Bingham bats.
And the big question is going to be, if you're Bingham and Coach Sato, how do you get that frustration out of the system?
Well, you know, what he does is he goes back to that workman's-like attitude he talks about with his guys. And, you know, he's going to tell them, hey, talk about the hard hat. You know, we learned about this before because we were down there talking with them. And he's got a hard hat down there just to remind them of where they're from and that workman's mentality about the old copper mine where the school was. And I certainly understand that, coming from a mining town myself in the coal mines. You know, understand the mentality and how hard it was to do that. And he'll remind them of that. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It took a lot of hard work to get here. And it's going to take a lot more work to get it done. It was never going to be easy. And you got your best game, the best game from Riverton you possibly could have in this first one.
This ball sent to deep right. And a nice catch made out there by Thomas, as Edwards will retreat back to first.
Cody Nelson's going back saying, why couldn't I put that down the line? It's down the line and things bouncing on the road. But he sends it toward the deeper parts of the ballpark, and Thomas, nice read and catch.
I thought that ball might have carried a little bit further. I thought that had trouble written all over. It was a great job by Thomas to read that quickly and get to the spot to make the play. It's Parker Applegate up at the plate here. First pitch strike.
And Applegate's had a great day, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs with 2 singles.
How about 11 hits for Riverton in this game compared to 2 for Bingham?
I mean, it just speaks to, like I said, that mentality that they have. And somewhere, American Fork coaches are here, coaching Ingersoll or somebody are watching it, and they're like, where was this kind of hitting performance against us? Because Bingham was all over the yard in that one. But this, you know, what we talked about Riverton, this is how they play. I mentioned Coach Applegate. This is his first state championship appearance. Been the only baseball coach at Riverton. He was a coach for 6 years under Coach Sato at Bingham. I mentioned earlier, a Bingham graduate. Took the job at Riverton when the school opened 19 years ago, and this is his first state championship appearance. And And to him, he said, you know, it's kind of cool that it's against Bingham, you know, where all these coaches are from, where he played everything. To me, it's also part of the legacy of Joey Sato as well. And Brad Bevan was the head coach before that, but it's part of all of that.
It was one of those things in the coaches meeting at the plate, Dusty. You know, they were the last to shake hands, and then Sato gave him a hug. And it was kind of cool to see. I mean, I don't know if Coach Sato does that with everyone he coaches against, but you could just kind of tell that, hey, this is a little different for both of them.
Well, you know, been region rivals for so long as well. And weird that they're not anymore. You know, again, Bingham goes south, although they're more north than Riverton. But Coach Applegate said something funny. He says, you know, with a lot of respect, he goes, and hopefully it goes both ways. And I kind of chuckles like, oh, Sato, there's a lot of guys he doesn't respect in this state, especially guys who coach the game the right way, like Coach Applegate, and not only that are Bingham minors as well.
2-2 the count here on Applegate. That one off the plate again, so full count here for Parker. Trying to come through with one out here in the top of the 7th. And he does to the gap in right center. And boy, nice hustle coming over and making the play by Nick Stevens. That is not an easy catch out in center.
No, not at all. And that's some pressure on that one, too. You don't want to let another run get across the plate. Terrific job by Stevens.
So now Cooper Gray will step up for Riverton. And really, I mean, Edwards gets on base to lead off the inning, Dusty, but he hasn't been able to advance at all. Bingham's done a nice job. Gray swings through.
Yeah, you don't typically try to steal your catcher, even though he's playing short now, just simply because he's got so much work on his legs and not going to be as sharp as getting out there, but probably somewhere Coach Applegate might be thinking about trying to get him moving, and all of that, Bingham's made him do burpees over there as well.
Yeah, they've paid a lot of attention to the runner at first. Here in the top of the 7th. This one's going to get down. Nice little blooper hit there by Gray, and there's 2 aboard here.
A little looping ball that goes into left field. Nice job by Gray, because not only that, you're getting some guys that handle the bat pretty well, and Hamblin will re-enter to hit in the 8 spot. And actually, I didn't notice where they put Nelson, so he may have came in. Speaking of Dimmick, he may have came in for Wilstead, and they might have put Nelson at first base. I just missed where they moved them all.
Hamblin takes the first pitch, a called strike.
Remember, in high school, you can designate, you can put a DH for anybody in your starting 9. Doesn't have to be the pitcher.
Pitch low again, a few jeers on that.
Sure, the jeer there. Interesting that you're playing him dead pull in the infield, but you're playing him off the line in the outfield here from Coach Sato.
And this one's going to get down as well. Nice hit there by Hamblin. It's going to bring around Edwards. Runners at the corners, an RBI for Nate Hamblin.
You know, you see the patience from Coach Applegate. He had Edwards on, and sometimes you can feel like you're going to press a little bit. 2 outs, or the leadoff single, and you just stick with it, get to the part in your order, and hope a guy comes through for you. And Hamblin with a little insurance for the Silver Wolves.
And with 2 outs, Dusty, I mean, you talk about coming through with 2 outs and the mentality shift that provides for Riverton. I mean, it has certainly provided a spark for them today. A lot of runs coming with 2 away.
And we got a pinch runner coming on for Hamblin.
Yeah, Houston going to run here. I shouldn't say, you know, just a lot of runners, but they've made plays with 2 outs, both offensively and defensively.
They've come up big. I mean, you talk about that bases loaded that Nelson's able to get himself out of. We talked about the ad nauseum, the 2 RBI single from Applegate with 2 outs, and yeah.
This ball hit to right center. Thomas under it, makes the catch for the third out. To the bottom of the seventh, the Bingham Miners coming to the plate, trailing 7-0. Bottom of the seventh inning and the last chance for the Miners in this one. If this score, lead, or unless Bingham comes back to score 8, we've got another game coming up. Carter Sifonia will lead off the inning, and this to the top of the order with Stevens and Soph.
Well, Sifonia, a little bit of a frustrating day at the plate for him. Hasn't been able to come through, and see if he can, again, for Bingham, if nothing, if you don't score 7 runs here, scoring 1 or 2 goes a long way.
Yeah. First ball there from Peterson to count 1-2. Now, for me, the biggest thing for Bingham and Coach Soto's mindset, and getting that mindset right for 30 minutes from now. This ball fouled away by Sifonia.
Yeah, and it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to do, to turn your guys around after, some disappointment. But not only that, it's pretty easy to get them to turn around and say, hey, this is for the state championship.
That one snagged down and Sifonia thrown out at first. Nice play by Applegate again.
I'll tell you, Applegate's been really good. He turned that double play he turned a couple innings ago. I mean, this kid's got a very, very good glove, and mentioned earlier, just a sophomore.
And we've seen plays, Dusty, even in the last couple days here at UCCU Ballpark, where third basemen have had some struggles with some of those sharply hit balls, and Applegate did a nice job there.
And a lot of it has to do with what is that? We got a pinch hitter.
Yeah, Tyler Kemp up at the plate here for Bingham. So he finds himself down here 0-2 in the count. A little excited on that 0-2 pitch, huh?
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Kemp resetting here. Fouls this one away. Another foul ball here from Kemp.
Now, just to go back, because I always reference it, friends of mine, the Carbon Dinos, back in 2001, we were undefeated on the season, lost the first game of the state championship 10-1, come back to win 7-6 in the second one. So there is a way to get it done.
Kemp strikes out at the plate, and there's 2 away.
And not only that, it was in St. George against Snow Canyon. but a great price contingency that day.
And, I mean, I'm not trying to rub this in at all, Dusty Litster, but that game you lost was 10-1, right? So undefeated, lose 10-1, and then you bounce back for a 7-6 victory.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because this hasn't been 10-1, but you look at the scoreboard and you see 7-0, and you think, man, it's pretty easy to get down on yourself mentally.
Well, that was the thing. That 10-1 was, trust me, it was a quick 10-1. And you're like, oh my gosh, the dream season. You know, because the whole thing had been, could Carbon beat anybody in the state? And I still contend that, yeah, the guys a year older than me were unreal, and such a good team. I mean, they broke the state scoring record that year and things like that. I mean, really, really good.
Soph at the plate swung through that one, and it's 1-2. The Silver Wolves fans starting to stand. They know they're one strike away from a second game here at UCCU Ballpark with a state championship on the line. One low, ball 2, 2-2.
Here's the hard one, and Coach Applegate might crack a smile if this one, if he's just able to take care of business here.
Outside, good eye there by Soph. And Soph walks.
The last out's the hardest one. It doesn't matter what the score is. When it's a big game, the last out is the toughest one to get.
Soph draws the 2-out walk. Noah Wallach coming up now for Bingham. Low, ball 1. And Dustin, I mean, Peterson was working pretty efficiently until that second out, and now, you know, maybe having to work a little bit more, a little harder.
And part of it, I mean, you're guessing when we start trying to get in someone's head, it's not our own. Just getting that last out,
yeah.
And you start pressing, you start thinking about it a little bit, and it's the one that starts to get to you.
Ball 2, boy. That's one of those that I thought was a pretty good pitch.
That was a good spot. I mean, it's one to miss. And now, again, it's just pitch to contact, let our guys behind you work, and you get ready to play for a title.
That one a called strike from our ump. 2-1 the count.
It's always weirdest thing that for Riverton, this is a semifinal. For Bingham, it's a semifinal. For Riverton, it's their season. So now it's all kind of coming real.
Contact here, fouled away. The count now 2-2. Again, the clapping starting from the Riverton faithful. Trying to cheer on Zach Peterson here to close this one out. Throw to first, Soph aware.
2-2, you still got one to burn. I mean, not a big deal. Plenty of runs. You still want to be burning your arm in case they want to bring you back in the next one.
This one sent into right. Boy, nice bit of work there by Wallach as he'll advance Soph to second. There's 2 men on for Nick Burdett coming to the plate here.
We talk about the little things for Bingham to get out of this inning, and it is that. Now you finally get the first hit that's not on Nelson. Okay, and the first hit you've had since the 3rd inning, and kind of break some of that rust off, break some of that stuff that's just holding you up.
He's not a machine. He's a man. They'll pinch run here. Gage Johnson will come out to second base for Bingham. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
I wonder if that's David Johnson's brother.
Oh, there's a name I haven't heard in a while, huh?
7 threes against Alta. He was a catcher for Coach Sato.
Yeah. I mean, how many Johnsons could there be? Burdett, ball 1.
Burdett on the afternoon, 1 for 2. He walked his last time up. Again, to see if he can extend the inning.
There's a strike called on Burdett, 1-1. A little bit of positive mojo here, but, man, if you're Coach Suttle, you'd love to get that run in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And not only that, you got more arms going down in the bullpen. So nothing else, put a little fear into Coach Applegate and get another guy, because he's probably banking on Peterson for the next game too, and he wants to make sure anybody's throwing after Nelson can appear in the next one.
Butterfield is, as you mentioned, Dusty throwing for Riverton. Is this ball chopped foul? 2-2 the count on Burdett.
I was doing a pretty good job trying to keep the pitch count, and then we start talking, and I realized that I'm way down, so I'll try to do it off my book to get us an idea of where he is. Because I think the number, because I got rid of it, has to be around like less than 36.
Inside, Burdett able to fight it off.
Yeah, he's got to be less than 36, and then he doesn't have to worry about the rest.
2-2 pitch. Low, and the count full again.
Well, right now for Peterson, you got one out left. I mean, I wouldn't be messing around too much. Probably should have made that note before, but you know, between he and Dimmick, like, just come get him.
Runners are going, and it hit Burdett in the shoulder. Bases are full here for Bingham in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, and now stepping up will be Parker Anderson to pinch hit.
Parker Anderson came on to pinch hit against American Fork, if I remember correctly. That's a second hit batsman.
A visit coming out here. You mentioned Butterfield throwing. Will we get a change?
I think you might, just because keep Peterson available. But not only that, you just got to extinguish this thing as fast as possible so you're not burning arms, not burning time here. I guess time doesn't matter. We got lights. But not burning arms. And confidence, too.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, for Bingham right now, your fight is to try to get on the board, get that mind ready for the next one. And for Riverton, hey, you're just trying to close this thing out. But, look, I've seen teams score 6 runs in an inning before. If you can do 6, I mean, why not 7 or 8?
Saw Jordan score 8
this morning
in the first inning.
And a lot of that with 2 away. So Parker Anderson to the plate here for Bingham. Still with just 2 hits in this game, Bingham.
Well, they haven't updated. They have 3.
Oh.
Wallach
Thank
single
you.
to the right.
Yep. This ball hit to second. And that'll do it. The Riverton Silverwolves defeat Bingham 7-0. We've got a second game coming up. We'll have it for you here live on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. But, Dusty, how about the effort today by Riverton?
Love it. The way they showed up and they played Riverton baseball, the way they got after it. Talk about from the very beginning. I mean, you score in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings, and it was just doing it the way that Coach Applegate wanted to do it. But the story of this game was the performance from Nelson. What he did on the mound